Priestle Faulkner, and this is BusinessWise. My guest today is Seth Priestle. Seth is a Vice President, Principal, and Chief Compliance Officer for Pension Corporation of America. And Seth, perhaps you can share with our audience what PCA does and how it helps.
We're a Cincinnati-based, privately owned financial services firm founded over 40 years ago. We do wealth management for individual clients, but we're most prominently known for our work serving company retirement plans.
Well, and speaking of company retirement plans, there's been several nuances, changes with this pandemic year that we're all so tired of by now. Are there any specific things that you want to share that people need to know about 2020 that might have been different from prior years?
Yes, so there have been some pretty significant tax changes with regards to company retirement plans. And the key takeaway, I would say, with regards to those tax changes is if you have been financially impacted by COVID-19, there's some new options that have opened up to you to access your 401k account as a resource to get through this rough period.
And so maybe you want to share one or two of those?
Typically in a 401k plan, if you're still actively employed, it's not the easiest place to turn to get your money out. And frankly, even if you're able to, in many cases, you get penalized for doing so.
Sure.
If you're under age 59 and a half. If, along with the recent tax changes, if you were negatively impacted by COVID, and there's specific reasoning there, but if you were, and you're able to pull your money out, one of the big benefits to those tax changes is that you're no longer hit with that 10% early withdrawal penalty.
Exactly. It's almost as if it was just almost adding insult to injury by charging you a 10% penalty. So that was a really good change. The other thing I think so many people have had to struggle with and really hold on to their seats emotionally is this crazy stock market. How have you been helping your clients navigate through that?
Good question, because it has been quite the roller coaster ride. The biggest thing we did, and really even starting back in 2019, was to be proactive. Working in this business, we know there's going to be good times and bad. So while I certainly don't have a crystal ball, we made a point in 2019 when the market was at all-time highs to remind folks that, hey, you can enjoy this ride, but please know if history tells us anything, we're going to go through a rough patch at some point. So kind of planting that seed as a reminder that, hey, times are good now, but they might not always be. We're going to remember this so when that time comes, we can ride through it.
Well, so they don't have to make decisions based on emotions.
Absolutely. Emotions are a killer to long-term financial success.
You know, we've seen this now a few times since 2008, and unfortunately, some people really did act emotionally, drain all of their funds, turn everything to cash, and just didn't get a chance to catch that ride back up the hill.
Unfortunately, yes. What people have to remember is there's two steps to that. So even if you do time it right, quote unquote, getting out of the market, well, you also need to time it right getting back in.
Right.
So the best strategy, have a good long-term strategy, stick with it through the good times and bad.
That's great advice. We have been speaking with Seth Priestle. He is a Vice President, Principal, and Chief Compliance Officer for Pension Corporation of America. If someone listening would like to learn more about your organization, Seth, how can they reach you?
Our website's a great resource, www.pencorp.com. They can also call me directly with questions at 513-719-4184.
For BusinessWise, I'm Priestle Faulkner with MCM CPAs and Advisors, your business advocate.